Hello everyone, for today's Translational Longevity Series CellTalk. Today our present is Dr. Nupur Biswas and she will be presenting on the topic longevity, how far can we stretch it. Before beginning the CellTalk, I would like to introduce Dr. Nupur's uh, bio. Nupur Biswas is a senior bioinformatics scientist at Renix. She is working on bioinformatics and other multiple projects as well. Some of her projects include designing personalized neoantigen vaccines for cancer patients and exploring the genes behind chordoma and the health applications of digital healthcare wearables. Nupur has a doctoral degree in physics and her research work focused on studies of confined polymers. Before joining Renix, she worked at the Indian Institute of Science, Raman Research Institute, Kolhapur 3, and the Indian Institute of Chemical Biology. At Renix, she has gained experience as not only a research mentor, but as a scientist contributing to various international publications. I request Dr. Nupur to begin her presentation.
Thanks, Vijay, for your introduction. Welcome, everybody. In today's Translation and Longevity series, I am going to talk about how far we can stretch human longevity. Today's presentation is based on following these 5 research articles. In the quest of longevity, the first question what we get in our mind is how long can a human live? Whether there is a limit of living human beings. Is there any maximum cutoff, maximum years of living? Is the maximum lifespan of human is fixed? And then the question is, even if I increase the lifespan, what about the health span? What about the living the healthy life in the increased lifespan period? So what are the limits in these lifespan parameters? I am going to talk about the limiting factors of this human life longevity. Coming to the discussion, let's talk first about maximum and average lifespan. Average lifespan, which is also known as life expectancy, it refers actually to the average time of living of a species. On the other hand, maximum lifespan is considered as a stable characteristic of the species, which is actually the reported value of the time of years that a particular organism lived. For human, maximum lifespan is considered as 122 years. It is because the longest living person who was a lady from France, died at the age of 122 years in the year 1997. Of course, it is based on the whatever available data or reliable data, documented data is available. Based on that, currently human maximum lifespan is set at 122 years. Now the question is whether it can be extended. Can people live more than this? For model organisms, this maximum lifespan is flexible. It's affected by several genetic and pharmacological interventions. This is observed in the laboratories. But what about human? Of course, doing experiment with human is very much challenging. That's why to address this question of human longevity can be extended or not, we are going to look at some demographic data. To answer this question, researchers are looking at the whatever available data on the maximum reported age and date. This graph shows that maximum values of the whatever the reliable data available based on that maximum reported age and date. Both blue and orange dots are actually MRAD values, but they are colored in different colors, which is because we observed till the year 1994, MRAD values were increasing. But after that, somehow, for some reason, they are not increasing anymore. They are rather reducing. It is evident for the reason that we needed two types of regression analysis for this same data. This blue line gives a positive slope, while the orange line gives a negative slope. So based on this data, researchers are telling that maximum human lifespan is actually fixed and it is subject to the natural constraints. But then the question comes, what are those constraints? What are the biological limit? That is still not clear. But further analysis also shows that it is the same plot here. The black circles are again the MRAD values, but the white circles are the number of supercentenarians. We see the number of centenarians are increasing sharply, but MRAD values are reducing. So it states that more number of people are living for more than 100 years. That means the average lifespan is increasing, but the maximum lifespan is not increasing. So the biological reason, it may be that there exists some disease-specific longevity assurance systems encoded in the genome, but the reason is still not clear. But only the data shows that it is going to be limited. Now, even if what is the possible ways to cross the maximum lifespan beyond this 122 years? One possible way is we need some scientific breakthrough in the anti-aging research. Yes, and another possible fact is provide medical facility to the oldest old people, to the people who are living more than 100 years, to upgrade our medical facilities so that they can have it and live more than many more years. Basically, it is actually aims to expand the morbidity span. Here, this and make the curve mortality curve like this. That will help. That will also increase the bar of the 122 years. But at the same time, it raises the question that it is not increasing the health span. That is also a challenge because current data shows that lifespan is increasing but not health span. This is the data from 4 countries: Iceland, Japan, Singapore, and Switzerland. All of them show quite similar trend. Actually, measuring health span is also a challenge. And that's why researchers use 2 parameters: best practice healthy life expectancy, which is the lower dots, lower symbols, and best practice life expectancy, BPLE. These are the upper things. So we see that both are increasing, but the fact is there is a very clear gap for around 10 years between this healthy life expectancy and life expectancy. And one more thing, since measuring health span is a challenge, it is difficult to say from which time the person is going to be have morbidity or not. That's why the uncertainty level of this data is quite high. And the trend is actually same for different countries, irrespective of their ethnicity. So the challenge is the BPHL is increasing, but at a slower pace than BPAD. Both are increasing. The gap is, but they maintain almost equal. Both are increasing, but they are maintaining almost an equal graph throughout the years, from the year 1992 to 2019. Whatever the data is available by the group of these researchers available. Yes. So then the question is, actual challenge is to increase the health span. To expand the health span, of course, the answer comes from the biology side and more precisely from the genomic side. Several analyses using GWAS studies and these preclinical studies also include some and studies from the animal model it shows, and also identifies the major biological pathways which are linked to the longevity, which include the insulin or insulin-like growth factor 1 signaling, DNA damage response and immune function, cholesterol metabolism, and of course the maintenance of the telomere, the end part of the chromosome, which does not replicate when the cell divides. So with that thing, we finally, to answer our question, we can see that how long can a human live is still definitely debatable, but the maximum lifespan of human is supposed to be limited as per the existing data or our existing knowledge says. And health span is also limited due to the age-associated biological conditions. Yeah. With that thing, I conclude here. And if you have more questions, you can reach me at nupur@phoenix.org. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Nupur, for that informative talk. If anybody has any questions, they can write in the inbox. I think there are no further questions. Thank you, Dr. Nupur, for giving this excellent study.
Thank you, everybody.